Alright, Gottlieb batter up. Let's do some play testing on this thing. As you all know, I completely went through the head, rebuilt everything in the head, rebuilt everything on the play field, did a little plastics repair. There's only so much you can do with broken plastics. The repair is really not that pretty, but however, the plastics are not broken anymore and held on back with what do you call it, masking tape. So anyways, let's turn it on. It's gonna be loud. I have no glass on it because I just started cleaning the glass, and I found it's got two huge giant scratches in it. I mean, just there's like two that come like this, and then there's a big one that goes like that. So I'm gonna see if I can replace the glass. Otherwise, I'll finish cleaning up the bad glass. The bad glass has paint splattered all over it, and it has those giant scratches in it. I really do not want to put it back in this game, but if I have to, I have to. Anyways, no GI right now because I haven't started a game. That's just how Gottliebs are. When you first turn them on, there's no playfield GI, but once the game is over, we'll have all the GI back. It's a basic game, but it's pretty cool. You get little animations on the back glass for your players. You get these cool Very targets. I've never did a Very target before, but I was gonna actually make a video on them, but they're just so damn easy. If you really need a video on rebuilding a Very target, I guess I could do one later in the future, but if you really look at them, it's got a couple of contacts you just clean up, and that's really about it, and a leaf switch. So I was gonna do a series on, a video on rebuilding the Very targets, but I'm like, man, these are so simple. All my viewers probably could just look at that mech and be like, hey, this is easy to rebuild. Wait, yeah, I guess maybe I should have just did one. I don't know. Anyways, let's check it out. There's a bell in the head for the runs, and then all the scores run off chime box. So whenever you hear the dong dong for bell, that's where you're getting runs, and the chimes are for everything else. And thousands bumper will turn on and off. Depending if you hit enough things, they turn on and off. We got 4 runs because we had people that were on base. So whenever you get a home run, well, everybody that's on base gets a home run. And it's not level perfect either. I love those Very targets. So yeah, I got 7 runs and 22,000. I believe when I hit 40,000, I'll get a extra ball. Or if I get 11 runs, 22 runs, 33 runs, 44 runs, 55 runs, 66 runs, and 70 runs, I will get extra balls. as you can see, there's no credit window on this game. It's because it's an add-a-ball game. You don't win games on this, you win balls. So, which is kind of cool. Some people don't like add-a-balls, some people like to win a game, but I kind of like add-a-balls. It's like my hit to deck is a win a game. If I got the Neptune, that would have been add-a-ball. Same game, same exact game. So if I hit 40, we should get a knock. That will let you know you got a free ball. Nope. See now the GI stays on. The GI stays on exactly how whatever your last ball was. So we got the 1,000 points lit here for the single run, and we got one up there lit, and then our pop bumpers are lit. So when I start a game now, it should reset everything. So now we got 1, 2, 3 lit, 3, 1, 2 lit, and we only have this one lit. These will light up, the bases here will light up as the runners light up there. Also, I want to say too, this is 100% Comet LED'd. Everything has been replaced in here with LEDs, except for the credit when lit byte is lit, because that's got a big resistor on it, and it needs a 44 bulb. So this is the only old school bulb right here, credit when lit. It really doesn't even need it because this game's on free play. It was put on free play before I even touched the game. So I did no free play mods to this at all. But yeah, I like it. I wish I had it level. I think the ball will roll this way a little bit. It's not bad off level. I did have it level, and I had to move it around several times to fix stuff, so it might be a little bit cockeyed from what it was, but it's close to level. It's level enough to, well, I guess you might get a little bit mad playing it, because instead of rolling to a flipper, it might roll to the drain. It will be leveled when I drop it off and leave it at the customer. I got 8 runs. If I get 3 more, I get an extra ball. Or if I get 10,000 points. Oh, this will give me, there, I got my knock for my extra ball. 12 runs. One thing I gotta say about these little flipper games, you really don't want to cradle them. When the ball gets to the flipper, you really just want to hit the ball because your flippers are just so tiny in here. That's it. So yeah, in the back glass I did use 4, 5 Comet LEDs right here. It's because the paint was flaked. I did triple thick the back glass where the paint was flaking to stop it. The rest of the back glass is really good. It was just this area where the paint flaked, so I did triple thick all that to seal it up so we shouldn't get any more paint flaking. Instead of light bleeding through the glass, I decided to just put some color LEDs in here. But yeah, this is all Comet LEDs and all Comet LEDs. All the GI that's on this game is retro SMD bullets, and all lights that are controlled lamps, all the controlled lamps are all non-ghosting Comet bulbs. The reason why I use the non-ghosting, they won't get that odd weird flicker to them when the score motor does stuff. They will like flicker like that. That's just how EMs are, so I remove them and I put the non-ghosting bulbs in there. But everything, just like on the top of the playfield, is regular retro SMD bullets, except for 1, 2, and 3, and the pop bumpers. Those are all non-ghosting. And then all the bulbs that are underneath the playfield that light up the 312 and the bases. And is that it on this? Yeah, there was not a lot on this game. Those are all non-ghosting. The game over bulb is non-ghosting, and all the balls that play are all non-ghosting, because those two will get a weird flicker with just regular, LED bulbs. If you put regular incandescents in it, you don't have to worry about anything, because the way the bulbs work, they won't get that flicker, because it takes a little while for the light to, like, let's say, bleed out of them. You just don't notice that. But on some games you will notice your lights like are pulsing. That's kind of how that flickering is for regular incandescent bulbs. You will see that on some games. But it is normal on EMs for you to see flickering on them. It's just how the score motor runs and how everything with the voltage runs. You do get a little flickering or bulb pulsing on EMs. It's perfectly normal. You brand new one out of the box will do it, if you can find one. But yeah, there are some. I'm getting flaking off all the rubber now, so I kind of want to play it to break as much as that off. There's a release agent on all the brand new rubber that slowly flakes off, and you get these little white blobs all over. But that you can just take and dust them off with a nice paintbrush like this. Really nice, just soft little paintbrush. When they do that, you can just go like this and just brush them down, which I will end up doing, which I don't have a lot right now. Since my palm's a little sticky, they stick right to my hand. But yeah, that's it. She turned out beautiful. Let me see if I can get you a little more shot of the playfield. It did turn out beautiful, except for this area right here. Something made a nest here at one time, and it was all down in this general area right here. This whole general area, there was something that made a nest, and the urine soaked into the wood and destroyed the top coating and paint over here. Nothing I can do about it. What it needs to be is stripped down and repainted. However, from this light here up, this game is mint. I mean, mint. It's got minimal ball wear. It's got some chips, but the paint, I would say, for the age and everything, is, I put it very good to excellent. I guess not mint, but for an EM that's this old, I would say, yeah, that's mint for the age. What was also good too was the pop bumper rings. They were perfect. They were like one of the first times I never had to replace pop bumper rings. I looked at them really super good, and they were in excellent shape. Didn't need to replace them. Normally they are dried, flaky, and just garbage, and these ones were perfect. All the posts, they're not exactly in best condition. They're let's say oxidized, where they're kind of got, like, they're not shiny and cool like they used to be when they were new. These are kind of whitened and chalky looking, but the posts work. I'm talking about these posts. They work. They do the job. They don't need to be replaced. I would have recommended them getting replaced if the bottom of the playfield wasn't like that. I'd be like, hey, this game's, really super beautiful. Let's do the posts. But I felt it was wasted money even offering that on the game, because the game isn't mint. It's a great player condition game. And then we do got a broken plastic here. It's got a crack on it. What I did was I have special glue that is made for this type of plastic, and I put the pieces together and I laid a piece of Lexan over the top and let the glue drop, and it pulls itself underneath the Lexan and then glues it back together. So this is a solid sheet. Same with right here, and then right here on the edge I put two little pieces, because we had a crack right here at the nut, and then this was cracked. Somebody originally had put masking tape underneath there to hold that. This one wasn't. I think it was just held together by itself. But it was free repair. I said I'd like to repair them, and I did. So that was a no charge. I ended up not charging anything for that. It needed to be done. But yeah, she turned out beautiful. Real beautiful game. I just need to go get a piece of glass and swap that out. But the back glass, like I said, let's zoom in. You can see the flecks like up there and down in here. You can see all that. But if you don't know it's there, you might not even notice it. You may not even notice it. If I told you, you'd notice it, but you may not. So that's what I love about the colored Comet bulbs. You can do that with them. And let's look at the playfield with the lights off. See, this is what I like about the Comet, those retro SMDs. It's still got that nice warm glow as the original incandescent bulbs. They look beautiful. These are frosted lenses on them, and I think they look beautiful on the game. A lot of people are against LEDing EMs, but I've proven over and over again, if you do it right, they're beautiful on an EM. And you'll never have to worry about the bulbs burning out now, because they're LEDs. The new bulbs that they use now are made cheaper, and they burn out very easy. You can just bang the playfield and you can break that filament in a bulb. The original bulbs made from the 70s are rock solid, and they last. However, since they're like 50 years old, you never know when you're going to burn one out now. So that's why I still replace them with new bulbs. You still got that same chance of burning a new bulb out versus an old bulb. Plus, on these games they use 44 bulbs, which run hotter than the 47s. I'll show you one of the bulbs. That's one of the original bulbs. I just dug it out of the garbage. These are 44s. They're brighter and they get hotter. The heat can warp your plastics. However, with home use, you should never have a problem with a 44. People are like, always like, oh yeah, you know, 44s, I take them out and put them in, you know, so my plastics won't warp. If your plastics haven't warped by now, they're not going to warp with a 44. You can still use them. I don't, just because they're hot. If you need to get in there to get anything, you can, like a kid or something, they can burn themselves a little bit easier on this than a 47. 47s are cooler. They're a little dimmer. However, they still look just as good. But so these, I never put 44s back in. I always put 47s back in. And same with the back glass too. People are always like saying, take these 44s out of the back glass and put 47s because they make them flake. If this glass is still good now from 50 years ago, it's never going to flake again. You want to know what makes your glass flake? Have you always noticed your glass on a lot of games always flakes on the bottom first? It's because people are doing this. They're taking their Windex and they're spraying the glass like this, and then they're wiping it off. That is wrong, because whatever spray you get on there, you ever notice how it just runs right down? You're never getting it from underneath here. What it does, it sits there, it gets into the paint, and it delaminates the paint from the glass. Always spray onto your towel and then wipe your glass. That's how you do it. Spray, 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 spray. You're eventually going to delaminate it here. Now, it is true, on a lot of these games, certain colors delaminated by just looking at them. I got my Hit the Deck, which is right over there. You can see it right there. The green in the monster guy is all delaminated. The girl, which you can't really see too much of, all of her skin is delaminated. She looks like she's got measles real bad. It's certain colors just over time delaminated. However, whenever you got your glass is perfect up here and it's all delaminated down here, it is because somebody over the years had just sprayed glass cleaner over it and then wiped them off. So always spray it on your rig and then on the back glass. But yeah, this game is done as far as I'm concerned. I will be knocking it down now as soon as I put a new glass in it. I have to put a glass in it. I can't put that junk back in there. I'm not gonna. So I'm gonna go out in my garage and get a piece of the donor glass I have, and they do have little scratches in them or whatever, but not as bad as that. That is just horrible. Yeah, no, it's not going back in here. So there'll be some cool stuff along the bottom here. Please like and subscribe. I thank you all for watching my channel over the years. Appreciate it. Love y'all. Take care, and later.